Hello everyone and welcome back to the FM network. My name is Andy, otherwise known as A-Bomb FM, and I'm bringing you a video today where we are going to be looking 20 years into the future in Football Manager 2021. So we will be going to the year 2041 and seeing who's to the top of some leagues, having a look at some international stuff and a few other bits as well. If that sounds interesting, then do drop a like on the video, leave comments and subscribe to the FM network. And if you want to see more of me, there is a link to my channel down in the description as well. I've currently got a save going with Steaua Bucharest in Romania. So if you do want to see a bit more of me, then there's a link to my channel down below. Go and subscribe. And as I'm recording this, I am just 5 subs away from 900. So if you could help me get to that, that would be lovely. But let's jump into the video. So I have simulated 20 years into the future to the year 2041, and what we're going to do is we're going to look through the top 5 leagues in Europe. So we're going to look at the Premier League, La Liga, the Bundesliga, Serie A and Ligue. We're also going to have a look a bit further down the Football League to see if any teams have fallen in 20 years. Maybe there's teams in the Championship, Ligue 1, maybe even Ligue 2. Look at a few more bits around the Premier League. It's going to be the sort of main focus. So we're going to look at some records, see which records have been broken and which ones still stand. And we're going to see what sort of managers that we have in the Premier League as well. We're also going to look at internationals, so we're going to see who's been winning the major tournaments, the World Cup and the European Championship, and see how England have been doing. And then after that, we're going to have a look at some of the very best players in 20 years, some of which will be regens, and have a look at some of the record transfers and some of the, the best players in the world, the Ballon d'Or winners. So we'll start with the Premier League then. We're in 2041 and it doesn't look that different, to be honest. Man City top the table, 2 points clear of Man United and Arsenal. Liverpool finished in 4th place. Chelsea and Tottenham in the Europa League, and Southampton in the Europa Conference League, which is the upcoming sort of tertiary European competition. The bottom 3 is Bournemouth, Aston Villa and Birmingham. And looking at some teams that have come up to the Premier League, there's a few that, have been in quite recently, like Watford and Norwich, that have come back up. But other than that, the table really doesn't look that different to what it does today. There's a few absentees that I'm noticing, mainly West Ham. I don't see West Ham anywhere. And there's probably some other teams as well. But let's go down to the Championship and see who's down there. So Sheffield United and Crystal Palace have won promotion back, and Derby County won the playoffs. Newcastle in the Championship as well in 7th place. And there you see West Ham just avoiding the drop by a point. And I think they may have been down in League 1. Yeah, they were. They did just get promoted the season before this one. So West Ham seems to have fallen the furthest down to League 1. But focusing back on the Premier League, let's have a look at the past winners then. And here we can see that it's been, the same sort of 3 teams. So looking at the past winners then over the past 21 seasons, including the current one, we've got Man City with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got Liverpool with 6, Man United with 6, and a couple for Chelsea as well. So no different winners other than that. Even runners up, there's no one else that's got really near. So it looks like we have got a sort of big 3 there in Man City, Man United and Liverpool, with Chelsea getting the odd one there. Arsenal finished 3rd a few times. Southampton actually got a couple of 3rd place finishes, so a couple of bronze medals for the Saints, who we saw were in the Europa League. So they've, I don't know if that was a title challenge. I don't know how close the seasons were, but Southampton, in the top 4 and getting some Champions League football. And they've actually won the Europa League. They got to 2 Europa League finals and won it in 2035, beating AC Milan. So Southampton getting some European trophies. Well, a European trophy anyway. Tottenham have been sort of in the top half mostly. They had a bit of a bad finish in 2028 with a 13th, but they've been in the top half. They also won the Europa League, an all-English final there, and they won it twice actually. They beat Man City and Monaco. Let's have a look at some Premier League records then. So we've got modern day records, and let's see which ones have stayed in 20 years and which ones have been broken. Now, some of these records I think are from old pre-Premier League. So you've got 10 points there for Stoke in 1889. But they did, during the simulation, have 32 defeats out of 38. 2033, that must have been a low points tally. 2033, yep, Stoke, the record fewest points, 10 points. 2 wins and 4 draws. Oh dear. They won more games than Derby did in 2008, but 4 draws. Average attendance has increased. The highest attendance was a Man United versus Watford game, 89,879. No one has beaten the 9-0 of Man United and Ipswich, also Southampton, Man United and Southampton Leicester. Bournemouth went 7 matches without scoring. This past season, Pascalo, I might have said that name wrong, but Pascalo of Man City, 21 clean sheets. That's a new record. So there you go. There's a few records here and there. Let's have a look at some manager movements then and see who we have at the moment. Senny, the legendary goalkeeper who scored multiple goals, manager of Leeds. And Victor Lindelof is the Leicester manager. Man United's current defender, Lindelof, is the manager of Leicester, formerly of Stuttgart as well. Okay, so I'm not going to recognise all of these names, but let's see who's managing where. So we've got Amorim at Arsenal. We've got Darragh O'Shea at Aston Villa. Lorenzo Lucchesi at Birmingham. Fabio Grosso, as mentioned, at Bournemouth. Dean Whitehead at Brighton. Paunovic at Burnley. Abel Ferreira at Chelsea. Fonseca at Everton. Alacush at Fulham. Senny at Leeds. Lindelof at Leicester. Stuart Armstrong is the Liverpool manager. Nagelsmann is at Man City. How old is Nagelsmann now? 53 years old. He's been all over the place. He's been at, went from Leipzig to Bilbao, Chelsea, Porto, Juve. Phil Stevenson is a regen at Norwich. We've got a regen manager. Fabregas is managing Southampton. Ryan Giggs is Watford manager. Robbie Nielsen is managing West Brom. Isaac Patterson, another regen, in charge of Wolves. So yeah, some regen managers in there, which is very strange. And no one has kept their job. When I did this on last year's game on my own channel, Solskjaer was at Man United for the whole time, and Frank Lampard stayed at Chelsea, I think, for 20 years as well. So that was interesting. And yeah, no one has kept their job. So let's move on to La Liga then. And most recently, Real Madrid have won La Liga, 4 points clear of Barcelona. Atletico and Valencia running up the top 4. Real Madrid and Barcelona have completely swept the titles here. Atletico haven't won it since 2014, and before that we have to go back to Valencia in 2004 for the last winner that wasn't from Madrid or Barcelona. So yeah, they have completely dominated. Atletico did finish runner-up quite often actually in the early stages of this. So Real Madrid actually ended up 3rd for quite a bit there. Sevilla got 3rd place. That's it. So Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico, clearly the 3 biggest teams there. And most recently as well, Atletico finished 3rd place for like 12, 13 years in a row. On to the Bundesliga, where Bayern have won the title by 4 points. So the past winners in the Bundesliga, Bayern have more or less completely swept, apart from a few. Dortmund, Hertha and Leipzig have a win each. But other than that, Bayern have completely dominated Germany. So Bayern very much at the top of Germany. Patrick Vieira is currently in charge of them. And before that, Hansi Flick was there for 16, almost 17 years before retiring. So Flick lasted a long time. Vieira been in charge for about 5 years. Antonio Conte is in charge of Real Madrid. Zidane was there for a while. Pedro Martins was a manager as well. Pep Lijnders, current Liverpool coach, is managing Barcelona. Let's move over to Serie A then, and Inter Milan, the current champions in Italy, again by 4 points over their Milan rivals AC. Napoli finished 3rd, Lazio 4th, Juventus outside the top 4. So looking at the past winners, Juventus had a little bit of a drought actually. You know, they went through a lot of titles in a row, like consecutive titles. We're looking at about 13 there. And then they alternated with AC Milan for a bit before they got 3 in a row. And then Inter got 3 out of 4 with Napoli in between there. And Juventus finally ending that 7-year trophy drought before Roma get their first title in God knows how long, since 2001. And then Inter winning the past 2. Simone Inzaghi is at Napoli. Nuno Espirito Santo and that glorious beard are at Roma. Juventus, the job is currently vacant. Camoranesi has not long resigned after almost 4 years, but they've had Nagelsmann, they've had Guardiola, they've had Zidane, they've had Pirlo. Juve have had some big names in their manager's spot. Okay, we'll look at Ligue 1 and then we'll look at some international stuff. So Paris Saint-Germain, 11 points clear at the top of the table there. I can imagine PSG have probably won all of these. Almost, apart from 2 seasons where Lyon won it. But PSG, I mean, look at that. Since 2018, they have won all but 2. So that's pretty bonkers. Lyon, lots of runners-up. Monaco with some. Stade Rennais with a few runners-up. PSG currently managed by Thomas Tuchel. Wait, has he been there the whole time? He has. So someone has stayed for the whole thing. Thomas Tuchel has been in charge for over 20 years. In fact, he's almost at 23 years. So, someone stayed at their club for the whole simulation. Okay, so I think that's enough for league football. Let's have a look at the Champions League. Barcelona, most recent winners with a penalties win over Manchester United. And here we can see that Barcelona, that's their second successive title. So Barcelona have won 6 since we started. Real Madrid with another 5. So I think they're up to like 17 now, maybe 18. Man United won a couple. Liverpool won one in 2034. Man City won their first Champions League titles. Atletico Madrid won one. PSG won one. Roma finishing runners up though. Let's see if there's some interesting finalists. Roma, as I said, Arsenal got another final. AC Milan. As for the Europa League, Arsenal, most recent winners of that with Inter Milan as runners up. And lots of English teams here. There's Southampton's and there's Tottenham's, of course. Tottenham with 2. But lots of English sides winning it here. We've got AC Milan winning one. Monaco. Porto got a Portuguese winner. And Real Sociedad, the first season that we simulated, Real Sociedad won the Europa League. That's got to go down as a bit of a surprise. Some interesting teams winning the Europa Conference League, most notably a couple of Turkish sides, Besiktas and Fenerbahce, winning the Europa Conference League. Also Genk of Belgium. So some interesting winners there of the tertiary European competition. And the runners-up as well, Slavia Prague, Ligue. Some interesting teams in these European finals. Okay, so I think that will do for club football. Let's go over to the World Cup then. The last World Cup was in 2038. So we'll see who's been hosting them and who's been winning them. So 2038, Portugal won the World Cup. Belgium finished runners-up. Brazil came third, and that was hosted by South Africa. What I've noticed is that the World Cup seems to rotate quite a lot. So South Africa hosted it in 2010 and get it again in 2038. So it seems like the teams that have previously hosted it will host it again. So you don't see a lot of new teams hosting it really. Netherlands won the World Cup in Japan, with Spain finishing second and Russia finishing third. Netherlands with their first World Cup there. Germany got their 5th World Cup with a win over the USA, who finished in runners-up. Didn't even qualify for the last World Cup. England finished third there. That was in Spain. And then in 2026, which is hosted by the USA, Canada and Mexico, Argentina win their first World Cup in 40 years. England runners up there, Brazil finished third, and then the World Cup in Qatar, France win that, Portugal finished second, and Netherlands finished third. There's 3 penalties defeats in there for England, no wins in the World Cup, but they did get a 3rd place and a runners up. Over to the European Championship, which was last in 2040, Portugal win that, so they have a European and World Cup double. And looking at the past winners, it looks like England have won some trophies. They won 3 consecutive European Championships. So yeah, nice to see England get 3 successive trophies. Current England manager is Leonardo Jardim, who's at Monaco currently. Okay, I think the last thing we're going to look at are these leading transfers and see if anyone's broken Neymar's record of, 198 million, wasn't it? Something like that. No one has beaten Neymar's record. Louis Dubuc is the most expensive player in the simulation, or could be, as that fee could rise to 160 million. He's a 28-year-old Frenchman. He's a right winger. He looks very, very good. How's he been doing? He's been very solid for Inter Milan. 160 million is the fee. Arsenal signed him from Rennes, which is where he started out as a regen. Fairly early in the sim, though, Martial went from Man United to Real Madrid for £146 million. Retired age 36. But as I said, there's not going to be a lot of real players left. Most of the top players now will be regens. There may be some players that are getting on a bit who may still be playing, but there's not going to be a lot left. Jude Bellingham is still at Newcastle, age 37. So there you go. One of the biggest prospects at the moment, still playing in 2041. Of course, started out at Birmingham and went to Dortmund. So the last thing we're going to look at is the Ballon d'Or, and let's see who's been winning this. Lionel Messi won it in 2021, then Erling Haaland with 3 in a row, and then Mbappe with 4 in a row. Mbappe retired age 36. He got 348 goals in 559 appearances for PSG and 96 goals in 196 appearances for France. Those are unbelievable stats, and he is one of the best players in the world. Messi retired age 37, stayed at Barcelona throughout his career, 498 goals for Barcelona. Cristiano Ronaldo is head of youth development at Monaco. He left Juventus in 2024, so actually only had a couple of years left in him. So that was a bit of a look at football 20 years in the future. I'm planning on going a bit further with this. I'm not sure if it will be here or if it will be on my own channel, but I am planning to do the simulation 50 years and then 100 years into the future. And if there's anything you'd like me to show in future videos of this, then do let me know either in the comments, or you can find me on Twitter at ABOMFM and you can ask me there as well. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, do drop a like down below. Leave comments. I'm sure either myself or someone from the FM network will get back to you if you have any questions. If you haven't done so already, or if you're new, then do subscribe to the FM network and check out all the other creators that have done videos for this channel as well. Guys like FM Greeno, Pressing Forwards. Go and check them all out because they're all really, really good. And if you do want to see more of me, then there is a link to my channel down below as well. You can subscribe to me and check out my current series with Steaua Bucharest in Romania. Once again, thank you very much to the FM network for allowing me to make this video for the channel, and hopefully there'll be more in the future. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.